Although humans and dogs are different, the digestion process begins the same. It occurs in the GI tract, a continuous tube from the mouth to anus. Digestion begins in the mouth, where food is mechanically broken down by chewing, or mastication. The tongue turns and pushes the food back while being assisted by the teeth. All in all, there are 32 permanent teeth. 8 incisors tear food apart, 4 long and slender canines meant for holding organisms, 8 premolars located between the canine and molar teeth, and 12 molars used for grinding in the back of the mouth. During chewing, saliva transforms the food into a bolus so it can be swallowed easily. The salivary enzyme amylase is produced in the mouth. It breaks down carbohydrates and starches to maltose and glucose. The food then travels down the pharynx, a bridge between the mouth and esophagus. The epiglottis protects the larynx, or throat, while swallowing so food does not enter the respiratory tract. The esophagus is a very muscular 10-inch tube traveling from the pharynx to the stomach. The cardiac sphincter, a ring-like muscle, regulates the food movement into the stomach. The stomach then changes the food from bolus into chyme by secreting hydrochloric acid. After that, the pleuric sphincter, a ring-like muscle, relaxes and squirts chyme into the small intestine through the pleuric opening. The small intestine is approximately 20 feet long and contains 3 parts: the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. Digestion continues in the duodenum, is completed in the jejunum, and nutrients are absorbed in the ileum. The presence of fat in the small intestine stimulates the secretion of cholecystokinin, a hormone that triggers the release of bile into the intestine. The chyme enters the large intestine through the ileocecal sphincter/valve, and the large intestine changes the chyme into feces and absorbs water, salts, and nutrients. Defecation then occurs, which empties the rectum. Defecation occurs due to the voluntary relaxing of the external anal sphincter. The liver is in the right upper quadrant and produces and secretes bile, which is important for fat digestion. It also controls the metabolization of carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins, and synthesizes bile salts. The gallbladder is a small sac in the back of the liver and stores bile between meals. The pancreas is a gland behind the stomach that secretes digestive enzymes to digest all macromolecules. These macromolecules include carbohydrates, amino acids, and lipids. Enzymes are responsible for speeding up the chemical reactions in the body after food digestion by breaking down large molecules. Amylase is one of the enzymes found in the digestive process. It is produced in the mouth and found in saliva. It aids in breaking carbohydrates into simple carbs, such as maltose. Pepsin, produced in the stomach, is used to break down proteins into amino acids. Trypsin, an enzyme found in pancreatic juice, breaks down leftover proteins. Lipase, produced in the pancreas, mouth, and stomach, breaks down any ingested fat so it can be absorbed in the intestines. Once broken down, this fat is used as a source of energy for the body. And finally, produced in the pancreas, deoxyribonuclease and ribonuclease serve to break bonds in amino acids like DNA and RNA. Secretions are used to pass along the newly absorbed and broken down food in our body. Saliva and lysozyme are found in the mouth to break down and kill bacteria in our food, passing the newly lubricated food into the stomach. Mucus is secreted along the entire digestive tract and is used to lubricate food. It also coats the inner walls of the stomach to protect it from the harmful proteins in a highly acidic environment caused by substances such as hydrochloric acid and bile. Gastrin is secreted in the stomach and stimulates the secretion of gastric acid, a digestive fluid. Cholecystokinin is secreted in the small intestine and triggers the release of bile into the intestine. Motilin is also secreted in the small intestine and controls smooth muscle contractions in the GI tract, known as hunger pangs. Carbohydrates begin digestion in the mouth, where they are hydrolyzed by salivary amylase. Once they are broken down into simpler forms, they are absorbed in the small intestine by villi and then transferred to the bloodstream. They have many body usages, such as producing and supplying energy to all cells in the body, providing fuel for the central nervous system, and storing energy. They also assist the metabolization of fats and lipids and spare the use of protein as energy. Lipids and fats are both absorbed and digested in the small intestine. They are combined and blended or emulsified by bile salts and then digested by pancreatic lipase. Fats and lipids are used to provide energy, insulation and protection, and hormone production in the body. Proteins begin digestion in the stomach with the enzyme pepsin and finish digestion in the small intestine as amino acids, which are then absorbed into the bloodstream. Proteins are called the building block of the body. They are used to build and repair tissues, create enzymes, transport and store molecules, and form antibodies. They are also involved in the creation of some hormones and used for energy when there is a shortage of carbohydrates.